forward.
Namit pala ako this whole time. Underdark na? Bug. Lapit sa rin. Tatalon ako. Go ahead.
Long ride down.
Ito mga bug. Trying to
Looking ahead. Come on, open up.
Yan, sayang feather fall pa.
My. Better be careful not to trigger that.
Mag-load ba tayo or wag na? Okay. Na? Ay, hindi pa wait. Tignan ko ba itong mga ito? Spawn na lang?
Have to keep going.
God, what's happening?
Ayan, talata ko yan.
Something good here, I hope.
Nabuksan mo? Ay.
Fungal spores. Must be myconids nearby.
Oh, alam na yung mic ko na. Nabuksan ko na eh.
Coming.
Oo, parang wala to dati.
That voice. Do you hear it too?
They're coming.
Parang wala yun dati.
They're coming.
That's a myconid. And it's warning us.
They are coming. You are coming.
Dito nga. Dito natin lahat na. Baba na tayo. kalaban dito, save ka or...
Step carefully. There's a trap.
We're a long way from Waterdeep.
Wish me luck na. No wheel no. Ay,
Shall be done.
Okay.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Knight to King 5.
Blood comes easy these days.
Will die.
Trap. So much for a warm one.
Mali pa yung damage. Nasaya na si Will eh. Devil lang muna siya ngayon. Nice.
Where do we go from here?
Dead.
Need to
Punta
find a
tayo
way
mag-
forward.
Ay. Hindi tayo magdalawang oras.
Always room for
Ano?
more.
Mag-potion ka?
What a day. I could really use some shutter.
Ang pagod na yan, no?
Broken bones. Must have fallen.
Oo. Diyan yun. Yung nabagsak ka dun, diyan ka man. Ay, dun. Diyan ka man. Wala na. Saan mag-long rest man? Sleepy. Gabi, gabi. Bili, 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 bili. Huh?
Private word would be nice.
Go ahead.
Oo nga.
I'm
Hindi mo
listening.
nalapitan na.
Your enterprise do not yet need to consume.
Tayong duguan si Will. Ay, Gil. Uy. Oh, you bloody, you bloody. Tulogin na or masabing pa? kailangan. May ano si ano. Sige. Si Astra yun, no? Kaya, ay, Mr. Astra. Sarip pa na yung picture na yun, astral image yan. Number 3 though. Attracting mosquito though.
My, you startled me. It's miles away.
Nice new hair.
For the seldom purpose of prayer, Mystra commands all magic. Salvation, if such a thing exists, is hers to bestow or withhold. And yet, even now, more than I fear losing my own self and soul, I fear losing my command of her art.
Magic is my life. I've been in touch with the weave for as long as I can remember.
How we
There's nothing like it. It's like music, poetry, physical beauty, all rolled into one and given expression through the senses. Is it the same for you?
No, I'm a sorcerer. Mas talented yung mga sorcerer.
Fair enough. Though in the end, we're still playing the same composition.
Nasa dugo nila yung magic na.
Perhaps I can show you what I mean
Yung
by
wizard
reaching into the
aral nila.
weave together.
Got him.
Then follow my lead.
It's getting late. Ooh. Bago to? Dati na. Ay, dati.
Now you.
Ooh.
A familiar feeling, like a kind word and a kind touch at the same time. It's warm and comfortable.
Excellent. Now, repeat after me. Athran Mistraril Kantrak Eo.
Sabi na Mr. Weeb.
Ah, yes. The scent of rose water and a sense of
easy,
well-being. A sliver of weave that tastes sweet on the tongue.
Very good. Now, I want you to picture in your mind the concept of harmony, as true as you can.
Sink deep into your magic. It's home. It's home. Hindi mo mag-fail pag sorcerer ka, no? Fail ka lang pag stupid ka sa magic. Mga barbarian or...
You see, or is it
Fighter
sense,
too.
the unmistakable presence of Mystra, the Lady of Mysteries. There's something like the anticipation of a kiss, then the pleasure of being cloaked in peace. You are safe.
It's
You are
gonna
nestled in the
happen.
cup of Mystra's hand.
Just
You did it! You're channeling the weave. How does it feel?
yabang ng sorcerer.
That it does.
Oh, wait, that though.
The
Nakita mo nga
weave
pala na-
connects you. The
What is
moment
it?
feels intimate. You realize the weave is making you one. You have but to imagine your desire, and Gale will know it.
What the fuck?
I didn't think.
You perceive quick-fire gusts of embarrassment, trepidation, and finally, elation.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting. But it is a pleasant image, to be sure. Most pleasant, in fact. Most welcome.
The weave evaporates, and as it does so, you realize the night feels suddenly cold and lonesome.
Oh. There it goes. How easily things slip away from us, no matter how hard they were in the obtaining. Good night. I enjoyed sharing a moment of magic with you.
Wizard. Wizard. Hey Will, how are you?
What can I do you for? Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints.
Wait lang. Di ako nakikita pag gano'n
Gives me energy.
Parang may certain
Power.
distance na. Pero makita mo ako.
But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control.
Ito ba?
If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But
Ito na.
not today. Story. I'm just happy to know, so with your help and Damon's, we were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted.
Krabby. Krabby Patty.
I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
Speak.
Namatay. Nandito eh. Natabi yung Shadowheart. Nung upo dito sabihin si Shadowheart. Ewan na. Pero kanina lang may sinabi siya. Sa game natin ito. Nila Gem. Kaya basahan ako ni Aryanna.
Need something? I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble. No innocence. You have my word. Only villains that we need to kill anyway. After all, you know what I am now. I can fight with all my weapons. Teeth included.
You won't be fighting though.
And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit during a fight, what's the harm? They're just as dead. As am I. I'm starting to feel a little peckish already.
Peckish.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past?
Human.
I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again. It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Sleepy?
Something the matter? I told you already. It's none of your concern.
Oh, which?
I told you already. It's none of your concern. Fine. What's on your mind?
How are you holding up?
You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly. But all things considered, you'll do. And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. Perhaps I'll be able to return the favor at some point.
Cool long scales.
I don't know what you mean.
Not exactly what I mean.
It's nothing, really.
Shit, my mind is turning bloodless. Oh, wait a minute. May reroll ka.
You're not going to let this go, are you? You might wish you had. I worship Shah, the mistress of the night.
Really?
It is my holy mission to oppose Selûne, her teachings and her followers. It hurts. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it. True. I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner.
Hindi mo na talaga alam sino Shar na eh.
Gladly.
Get out of here and sleep. Yan na pala. Nakasama mo si Lizel. Go.
Let's see.
Ano? Aman. Aman no man. Ay, hindi ako no sure. Bumalik pa sa dati. Kakagati ka na star yan? Hindi na. Shall we go? Wala sila. Ah, darating. Wala sa gate. Ayaw nga pala. Kasama pa natin. Matayo pa.
Masks. Known to cause confusion. Let's not get too close.
That might be worth a look.
Shit.
Must have fallen.
Ano ba yun? Ay, ito. Tiranan ko na.
I stand ready.
Sure.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
Tiamat and torch stalks. Hell of a combination. Get confused by one, blown up by the other.
Okay na.
Open up.
Corpses. These creatures did battle with Dwergar.
Hindi natin kakabit mga microphone. Okay. Ay, may kalaban sa baba. Huwag tayo diretso.
You were swallowed by a chorus of turbulent music. Through one creature sing many voices, the harmony of an entire collective.
Sovereign.
Sovereign. Ano ganun?
Fungal roots weave through your mind, seeking your true intent. Then the sovereign drones a new melody, cautious but welcoming.
I can mend neither skin nor spirit, but we still might commune. Descend to me. Let us speak in flesh.
The persistent music coaxes you forward. The sovereign expects you.
Okay. Sovereign Gay. Shit, hindi ko na nakawan.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact. And soon.
Wait lang, may artifact pa ako dito na walang gamit. Nakabili pa lahat ng pwede kong ibenta. Ibigay mo yung speed. Wait lang. Makita. Yung ano, yung bow, bigay mo na yung bow eh.
Thank you.
Maganda yung ano, yung... Kaya mo yan? Gloves.
Good gods.
Ayaw mo ba yun? Bigay mo na kay Will.
It hardly has any effect.
Kunin ko na, no?
Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body
mind and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as the magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all... She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, what if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of her? The answer was to try. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in. Into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. Rather worse, actually. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round. All of this. It must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I.
Same, bro.
I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now,
Even I am tired of the sound of my own voice.
We done here, eh?
I applaud your taste.
Ang cool na aura niya na ni Will.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Yung,
Is that blood?
pang
No,
tank.
never mind.
Or pang hindi tank din. Ayaw mo siyang
All right,
nada.
what now?
Budget.
At the ready.
Actually, encumbered ka eh. Bigyan mo kayo, gain yung mga
Something's
item.
on my mind.
I mean, syempre, pag-hold mo ng mga gamit. Mataas strike na. Huh? Oh, binigay.
A visitor. You're a welcome sight. But let us observe the customs of the locals.
The scholar's brow tenses. His voice spills into your skull, the spores connecting mind to mind.
Blurg, proud member of the Society of Brilliance, at your service. Or perhaps not. Your mind is far more complex than that of the fungi. The feeling is mutual, friend. I have only passing familiarity with the surface races. But I found that there is as much to learn from an individual as there is from a community. So it is with the Myconids. They live in harmonious... My colleagues and I are working to improve conditions in the Underdark. This need not be such a dire, hostile place. It's curious to find a surface dweller here. What has brought you down so deep? Truly remarkable. But why come to the Underdark, where they hold so much power? You were infected by an illithid tadpole? It's a miracle you're still intact. You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist. Omelium!
I hope this is important, Blurg. My Zirkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside her head, but she hasn't turned.
No ceremorphosis. That's impossible, but intriguing. Are you looking to have it extracted? Please hold. I understand your rage against my kin. One of my brethren forced a tadpole into your eye. Or ear, perhaps? But I assure you, I stand with the Society of Brilliance, not the colonies of my people. If that settles matters for the time being, would you like a diagnosis? Open your mind to me. Let us see what lurks within.
Normally. Special lang yung case natin. Dahil kay Emperor. Pero normally lalagay nila yung...
As the Meloan's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size. Alive. Awake. Almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the larva is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis. No, it appears to be shielded from physical and magical influence. And even without the shield, the extraction would involve severe cranial trauma. It is not ideal. The process would surely kill you. But not to worry. should you transform. A Nautiloid? Fascinating. I have never set foot on one myself. They were our warships during the greatest eras of... The design was lost when the Gith rebelled and ended our dominion. Of course, I am sorry I cannot assist you in its removal. But I have an idea.
Oh, perhaps I should start taking notes.
There may be a way to bypass that stasis. There are many alchemical substances that can influence the mind. A tincture distilled from a collection of rare mushrooms. They have subtle psionic influence. I would require a fresh ton of madness and Timusk spores. But be warned, in their natural state, both of these mushrooms can be quite dangerous. Timusks cause confusion in those that approach them. The tongue is self-explanatory. My formula will hamper the more harmful effects once the mushrooms are brewed into a potion. Your sanity, however much you possess, should remain intact.
The Underdark, of course, although they are quite rare, and their discovery perilous. I imagine Lenore would have them in her possession. She served Mystra as a cleric. The southwest when I last saw her, although her tower does have a tendency to move. She is quite fond of her garden. Lenore has always been a lonely sort. I offered her the chance to join the society, but she refused.
May your travels be safe and swift. I have never seen anything.
What's inside?
Is my species evolving?
Welcome back. Have you made any new... I do enjoy a good bargain. If anything in my private collection is to your liking.
Sabi mo sovereign. Sabihin mo sa akin. Yung mas malaki lang ah. Kaya nga na, pwede ka na magbenta ng 2 tao. Cool. I get it now. Wala nakita yung kasi sana single player lang sa gameplay natin.
Very well.
Benta mo ba yung mga libro?
You have my attention.
Kasi benta ko yung journal ni Halcyon.
Worry
No
not,
one stopped me
friend.
yet.
You'll find the key soon enough.
Moving ahead.
Armor dito. A hero at heart. Not to give will. Magkano yung pera mo? Shared ba tayo? Ah. Oh, shit. That's cool. Bibili. Marami lang tayong makakuha ang bullshit later.
Tell me, what can I do for you?
Died, oh.
I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Of course, as a sorcerer, these talents come to you quite naturally. I do hope you cherish that gift. Oh, I was surprised, but pleasantly so. Just like I said, amid the madness that has befallen us, it seems almost out of place to think of a kiss. And yet, now more than ever, it's important to recall what makes us human. Well, you know what I mean. A stolen glance, that sudden heartbeat. Sometimes the little things are worth more than kingdoms. They promise things to come. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril. The end of Karsus and the end of it. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell, Mistril was reborn. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, to prove my love for her. Tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Seems the you see a fella on his own on your way in. Dwarf. Balin's his name.
Okay. Kinuha nung benta ng melon. Melon. Kasi melon pala na. Si Berg pala.
Seek and you shall find me.
Keeping the old turnip. Might be enough to cover rent.
Sabi mo pag maganda kang crossbow ba eh. Kung may maganda kang crossbow.
Where are you?
We're done here. Mas mabenta. Tapos na kayo. What's up mo na sovereign?
What is the creature doing to those corpses?
Sovereign's thick fingers stroke the corpse at its feet. A droning melody greets you as the creature turns its gaze to you.
Flesh talker, I show you a memory. Watch and listen.
A violent vision grips you. Dwergar, dark dwarves chopping myconid remains.
They broke our peace. They killed our young.
The Sovereign's song slows to the pace of a dirge. It is still in mourning.
We laid waste to many, but intruders remain. Lakewood.
The Sovereign's song halts as it measures your worth.
I sense your resolve. You will find Dwergar invaders near Lake's edge. Cleanse the rot. Destroy them.
An illusion comes over you. A Dwergar choking on a cloud of gleaming dust.
Accept this gift. It will help you exterminate.
The Sovereign gifts you one more vision. A wall of vines parting to reveal glowing light.
Riches of magic and mind. Cleanse the rot, and you do the circle a service. We will await word.
Deep purples swirl into familiar shapes. Gnomes in mining gear, chased by Dwergar.
The Dwergar seek a gnome. It is a guest.
The Sovereign says nothing, but you hear appreciation in its song.
What? I-live mo na to. Ano na rin mo?